Hi, I'm Bill O'Reilly. Thanks for watching us tonight. How Black Lives Matter is killing Americans. That is the subject of this evening's Talking Points memo. First, the stats, and they are stunning. Since the Ferguson chaos, murders in the USA's 50 largest cities are up close to 17%, and much higher in cities with large black populations. In Chicago, for example, this year alone, shootings up around 80%. Why? Because the Chicago police have stopped stopping suspicious people. So-called pedestrian stops are down 90% in the Windy City. When you fail to police proactively, people commit more crimes. The media will not spotlight that much of the violent crime in America is being committed right now by young black men. In fact, black males between the ages of 14 and 17 commit homicide at a rate 10 times higher than white and Hispanic male teenagers combined. And blacks of all ages commit homicide at a rate 8 times higher than whites and Hispanics combined. Conclusion? There is a violent subculture in the African American community that should be exposed and confronted. Enter the Black Lives Matter crew, which roams around the country promoting a false narrative that American police officers are actively hunting down and killing blacks. Here's the truth. Police shot whites at a rate of 50% in 2015. Police shot blacks at a rate of 26%. In addition, Black Lives Matter is now infringing on freedom of assembly and freedom of expression. In Chicago, at DePaul University, this happened Tuesday night.
Hello, darling. Sir, please, do you need some help? Sir, please. Need some help? Sir, please.
So there's no question Black Lives Matter is affecting what we do here in the USA. A new book by Heather McDonald entitled The War on Cops, How the New Attack on Law and Order Makes Everyone Less Safe, starkly lays out the threat from the radical group which openly attacks CompStat, a policy placing police officers where violent crime is taking place. Here's a quote from Ms. McDonald. In terms of economic stimulus alone, no other government program has come close to the success of CompStat. In New York City, businesses that had shunned previously drug-infested areas now set up shop there, offering residents a choice in shopping and creating a demand for workers. Children could ride their bikes on city sidewalks without their mothers worrying they would be shot. But the crime victories of the last 2 decades and the moral support on which law and order depends are now in jeopardy, thanks to the falsehoods of the Black Lives Matter movement. So summing up, thousands more Americans are being murdered because police are being more passive since the Ferguson situation and the Black Lives Matter protests. Talking Points believes every American should know that, should know the truth. Sympathetic media and many race hustlers are backing Black Lives Matter. And the final indignity, members of the group have even been invited to the White House. And that's a memo. Now for the top story reaction with us here in New York City, Eric Gusser, an attorney and political commentator. So the unintended consequences of the Black Lives Matter movement is a rise in murder. Do you buy that?
I don't buy that at all, Bill.
The stats are just an accident, a coincidence? What?
No, the police officers need to do their jobs. And if they did their jobs effectively, then that would calm down the murder rate. Because the police officers after Ferguson, they said, well, we're just not going to police because we're being held accountable for what we've done. Then they're not doing their jobs.
So you see that the policing is less aggressive then?
Oh, that's true.
You just say it's less aggressive because what it was abusive. And they've stopped being abusive. Is that the point you're trying to make?
Some of the abuses have been brought to light. For example, many police departments have gone to body cameras in order to hold police accountable for the things that they do.
Or vice versa.
Right, or people pull out their camera phones. But if the police officer is doing the right thing, then they're going to be okay. And that was the problem.
Do you believe that Black Lives Matter has a right to interrupt that speech at DePaul University and turn it into a circus?
I don't necessarily agree with what they did at DePaul.
Wait, necessarily? What does that mean?
I don't agree with what they did at DePaul.
All right, so you think that's wrong?
I do think that's wrong.
Okay. Do you believe that Black Lives Matter has put out a propaganda about American police generally hunting down young black men, when the stats show twice as many white men are killed by police than black men.
That is not propaganda. Let me tell you why. In many communities, when you're being over-policed, when you're being harassed by police, when you're being stopped unnecessarily by police, that's what these young people are experiencing. So they're talking about their truths and what they experience on a daily basis.
But they don't understand the big picture on why they're being stopped. In Chicago, the stat is that stops that you're talking about, and you don't like, are down 90%, okay? 90%. Shootings are up 80%. Counselor, do you see any correspondence between not stopping and the rise in shooting?
There may be.
Yes or no?
I'm not sure, because it depends on the rest of the statistics. Does it impact?
The shooting is a shooting.
But you're talking about stopping versus shooting. If the police officers had their presence and they were doing their jobs instead of pulling off and not doing their jobs, then they would possibly reduce the crime.
But I don't understand. If you're a linear thinker, and police in Chicago, 90%, they don't stop suspicious people anymore. And then correspondingly, the shootings have risen 80%. It seems to me that the policy of not stopping suspicious people is leading to the rise in shooting. Are you disputing that?
I am saying that it depends on the rest of the data, Bill. I mean, if
that data stands alone.
No,
it stands alone.
No, it does not.
Sure it does.
Because with any type of data, with any statistics, there are other factors that could go into it.
I don't know what. I mean, I'm giving you the shootings. The shooting is a shooting, and the lack of police stop or the lack of police stop.
Are thefts up as well?
In Chicago, violent crime is up in almost every category. Theft, I'm not sure. All right, Counselor, good debate. We appreciate you coming in and taking a fire. Thank you very much.